Hi, I'm Mr. Skowski. Today we are going to do scrambled eggs. So I'm going to get my pan prepped. So here's my pan. I'm going to turn my stove on. Right. For this I'm going to do somewhere around medium to medium high, so somewhere between 5 and 7. It just depends on your personal pan, right? Making sure that things are out of the way. Right. I do have another pan on here from when I poached an egg earlier. But making sure that there's no paper around or towels or anything that could kind of set itself on fire. If you have a gas stove, right, you're going to need to push in your dial, and then you're going to have to turn it, and you're going to hear a clicking noise, right? And then once you see a flame, then you need to turn it. You don't want to have it remain on that clicking, right? But sorry for the light. There we go. So that's a gas stove. Electric stoves, you would just turn the dial to whatever number that you needed it at. Okay. So scrambled eggs. Things I'm going to need. I'm going to need a little custard cup. I need the frying pan that I just looked at. I'm also going to need a turner, clearly an egg, some cooking spray, and then you're also going to need a fork to mix it with. Right. With scrambled eggs, you have the choice of adding a little milk into it if you want. That is entirely up to you. All right. So doing this here, I'm going to turn this down. When I go to crack my egg, right, I'm going to crack it on the counter. Right. A lot of people like to crack it on the edge. However, that's what kind of causes those little pieces of shell to get in there. So if you hit it solidly on a flat surface, it will crack very nicely, and it'll be able to pull apart very easily. Right. So if I use the counter. All right, and then I can just pull this apart like so, nice and easy. All right. When you use anything raw, chicken, eggs, things like that, make sure you wash your hands as you go. Right. So here's my frying pan. Right. I'm gonna just spray it a little. Right. I used a non-stick. It makes it easier to cook with for eggs, right? And then I'm going to take my fork, and I'm actually going to scramble up my egg a little. Like so, right? And then I'm actually going to season my egg as well, right? So I do have a little salt and a little pepper. I like to wait to use the salt and pepper once it's finally in the pan, right? So I'm going to pour it into my pan. Right. Right. And then I'm just going to use a little salt while it's cooking real quick. Just a smidge of salt. And then a pinch of pepper. Right. And then I'm going to use my turner. And I'm really going to just scramble my egg around. Right. You will notice I scrambled the egg first before I put it in the pan. A lot of people like to just cut it directly into, or, break it directly into the pan and then scramble it in the pan. You really should scramble your egg first before it starts to cook. Right? Scrambled eggs do not take long by any means, and they do say that when it looks like it's almost done in the pan, right, you should take it off the heat, because what happens is, as it continues to be in the pan, it will cook, right? And then the heat of the egg will just continue to have it cooked, right? You don't want your egg to be, what happens is if you overcook your egg, it starts to turn kind of a greenish, brownish color, right? So that right there is a scrambled egg. Right, so I'm going to grab my plate right here, and then just pour my scrambled egg out onto my plate. And that right there is scrambled eggs. If you have any questions, definitely ask me. Thank you very much for watching Scrambled Eggs.